The system's rigged. The labs are rigged.
Anthony William, medical medium.
They are killing the chronically ill by drawing too much blood. Nobody talks about it. It's the dirtiest, filthiest secret on the planet. Bad, bad, bad.
You are getting censored by social media.
For real, though.
Anthony William, medical medium. I have spammed you so many times. I can't believe you're finally here. I told you I probably harassed you about 500 times.
Am I on psilocybins right now? Because I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how did I get here and how am I sitting here? What transpired to make that happen? Anyway, I'm blown away.
My meditation practice, I visualized the future with Joe Dispenza. And I got you here. I got you here. It worked.
I'm a believer then.
Okay.
I am a freaking believer.
Listen, I've wanted you on for so long because I've watched you help so many people all over the world. I've watched you help people with mystery symptoms from fatigue, brain fog, chronic pain. They aren't getting the answers that they want from their doctors. And I just wanted to really dive in with you. I think this is the perfect show. Let's kick it off with a right out of the gates question. What is the biggest medical lie we're being told today that's keeping people sick?
Well, you would think it's like, processed foods. You would think it's, which is bad, right? Of course it is. You would think, food chemicals, bad. You would think, some kind of exposure to something, bad, definitely. Any kind of exposure to any kind of toxins is bad. But one thing that people don't know about, it's the blood draw crisis. So what's happening right now, and it's underneath everybody's noses, Info had to get it out there. I'm not, definitely spooked by getting that information out there, because when you're the whistleblower for something that big that's been hidden that long, and not even the health movement knows about it, it's scary. So you look around and you're looking behind your back, but it's the blood draw crisis. So what this is billions and billions and billions of gallons of blood, your blood, pregnant women's blood, just being taken somewhere. Nobody knows where. When you get a blood test, they draw all this blood from you that they don't need. They only need a drop of blood at your blood test. You're pregnant, they'll take 5 vials, 7 vials, 9 vials, 10 vials, and they won't even realize that they could give a baby in the womb hemorrhagic shock. They don't know that. It's like, what? Huh? Take 5 vials of blood from a woman who's pregnant, and you're now possibly damaging the baby's brain. But nobody talks about it. It's crazy. And then with chronic illness, it's like, you're not feeling good? Let's get 10 more vials. You're not feeling good again? Let's do 10, 12 more vials. Wait a minute. You need to go to a specialist now. You still got your tingles, numbness, aches and pains. You still got your ringing in the ears. You still your balance issues, your vertigo, your dizziness. You still got your neck pain, your back pain. Let's take 20 more vials, but wait, let's get you to a Lyme disease specialist like they know, okay? We're going to take now 40 vials of blood out of you because we're going to run every test there is because you're chronically sick and we don't know why, and you slowly die. They are killing the chronically ill by drawing too much blood. Nobody talks about it. It's the dirtiest, filthiest secret on the planet, and it's got to stop someday.
Wait, 2 questions.
Oh, wait, hold on. I do want to say for the record, I have been saying since I was 6 years old.
No, I'm not going to do this with you.
No, I'm going to do it.
I'm not going to do the show where you confirm every bias
6
you have.
years old.
I'm not going to do it.
I have said that I cannot, I've said it on this podcast 6 million times, stand getting my blood drawn. There's something energetically
Nobody likes
off.
it.
No, it's a frequency.
You think I go in, I'm like, oh, what a great, I can't wait to do this.
It feels like someone is taking advantage of me when they take my blood. And for you to just say that, I'm just going to sit here and smile.
Okay, Lauren, sit there and smile. Confirm your bias. 2 questions.
Yep.
Are medical practitioners, why are they taking so much? Like, is there
They just don't know.
Okay,
they don't know. The system's rigged. The labs are rigged. There's a bigger system behind it. There's an evil just demon behind the whole thing. I'm just saying, just talking about it that way. But there's something just really gnarly, grotesque behind the entire industry to do this. Because you have to understand something. Your immune system is in your blood. And here's the bullshit out there, too. I love this one. Because of the probiotic world, it got so big. Probiotics. What came with that was your immune system's in your gut. Your immune system is in your gut. No, it's not. Some of it is. A little bit of it is. Your immune system is in your bloodstream. That's where it is, protecting your brain, protecting your heart, protecting your organs. It's in your bloodstream. That's where it is. Some is in your lymphatic system. The majority of it is in your bloodstream, not in your gut, not inside your intestinal tract, not there. And so the probiotic companies have taken advantage of this. No, it's all in your gut. It's all in your gut. People think it's there, but they're just getting all their immune systems drawn out of them every day. You don't believe me? Get sick someday and watch it get drawn from you, get sicker but not know why, and you're going to go to another specialist. They're going to take another 12 vials, and then if you got cancer, they're going to take it every 3 days until you're gone. They will take your immune system and until you don't have an immune system to actually eat up cancer cells. Your immune system has to eat cancer cells. Take your immune system out every 3 days. Oh, we need another 3 vials, another 5 vials. Come in next week because you got cancer. Another 10 vials, another 20 vials. It's a sick system.
Is there an appropriate amount of blood work that you can get done to get information about what's going on in your blood?
Well, I just want to tell everybody, first of all, I believe in blood work. You should get a blood
That's why
test.
I asked. That's why I asked.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. But we can't get tricked. And the system's just starting to change a little bit because of the work medical medium information is done, getting it out there where people are now saying to their doctor, I want quarter vials. I want half vials. I want less of them. Get as much tests as you can get done with a quarter vial, a half vial, with 2 quarter vials, 2 half vials. And then I'll come back again and get 2 more quarter vials. But what they're doing is they're slamming people. They're just pulling tons of blood out of people worldwide. And they're doing it all at once. 5 vials, 10 vials, 7 vials, 20 vials. If you're sick, here's how it works, right? You go there because you have an immune system. You're at the doctor's office. If you're not just doing your yearly checkup or 5 years, 4-year checkups for some people, they go in and they just get some routine blood, test. If you're going in there for something more, you're already immune system compromised. Your immune system is already having struggles and problems. Anything, acne, skin rashes, eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, dizzy spells, whatever it is that you're going through, there's an immune system problem. So now let's get the blood work. Let's figure out what's wrong with you, okay? And then it's a snowball. Just goes down the mountain and just takes villages down with it, everything with it, boom, until it just hits the bottom. And what that means is, well, you know what? I'm calling the doctor's office now. Yeah, receptionist. Yep, it's me again. I'm just feeling worse. It's like a week now. I know I was just there, but I can't even get out of bed. I don't know what hit me. Oh, we'll get in here now. You go in, let's get 10 more vials. Now you go home and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting sicker. Like, what is going on here? Call your doctor again. Well, we got to get you to a specialist. We don't really know what's wrong with you. We can give you a few diagnoses. Maybe you got autoimmune. Let's get you to a specialist. Now you're at a specialist and they're like, let's take 14 vials. It's endless.
So what would you tell those people that are going in and being like, what would you tell them the alternative path is for them to get better?
Guard yourself. Be careful. Save yourself. It is no freaking joke. You will die a slow, painful death just through getting blood work done consistently, constantly. That's what will happen if you're chronically sick. Just fact, just period. I know it's going to, every time I say something like that, people go, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, a medical medium, whatever. But yeah, you know what? Take this information because you're going to need it, because when you start getting sick because of some other problem, whatever that trigger was, whatever got you sick, whatever toxic heavy metals in the brain, pathogens like Epstein-Barr shingles that you don't know about, stealth viruses inside your body, whatever got you sick, it's going to get worse the more blood that gets taken. So you got to take control of your life. You got to be empowered and you got to say, this is bullshit. Take 2 vials. If the phlebotomist says, sir, we're only going to take, we're only going to do full vials, I'm sorry. The doctor ordered 5, 10, 12 vials. Just be like, no, give me half vials.
By the way, this exact situation happened to me when I went in for pregnancy. They said, we need to have 7 vials. And I said, for what? And she said, well,
you're pregnant.
We need to test you for AIDS. We need to test you for Hep C. We need to test you for Hep B. I said, take off all AIDS, take off Hep C, take off Hep B. I've only been with my husband. take that off and only
good.
give me what I
Maybe is this why you didn't want
absolutely
to take the test? Now I'm wondering.
what I absolutely need. Like, only give me. And guess what? That was 3 vials. So it's like what you said. You can save yourself.
You
but
have to.
I want to know how you discovered
And you got to
this.
save your baby. You got to protect your baby. When you're pregnant, I say it all the time, do not let them pull that much blood. Just say quarter vials then. If they say, no, we need to run all these tests, we're going to do it no matter what. You're in here, be like, fine, quarter vials, because they add up. 5 quarter vials, right, equals how many, 4 quarter vials
done with
equals
blood tests
1
This
vial.
pregnancy, though. I'm
So
done.
it's 1 1/4 vial.
Yeah.
And that protects you is what happens. Where did I get the information?
Wait, hold on. I want to know where he discovered this.
It's like the info from above. That's the whole point. It comes from above. It comes from the voice I hear since age 4. And that's right now, the entire health movement is reshaped because of medical medium information that I got from above. Not science, not this and this, not research. It's original medical medium information. It's saturated the entire health movement. People poach it, they take it, they spread it around. You have people come on this podcast that they're using medical medium information, but not even citing it back to the books and all that. It happens all the time. We just shake our heads and we're like, whatever,
That
it's
is true. He's right.
So what happened, like metals causing like eczema, anxiety, psoriasis, that's all medical medium original information. There's no science that showed that.
I wonder if in your case, some of this information has become so widespread that people hear it and they don't even realize who to source it to. You know what I mean?
That was because no one wants to cite it these days because we're in dog eat dog world right now.
What happened when you were 4?
Wants a nugget and they want to run with it.
What happened when you were 4 years old?
Woke up 4 years old, woke up one morning, heard a voice that wasn't mine, wasn't in my head. It was from the outside. So I thought it was like somebody talking outside the window, maybe my parents downstairs. Like, where's this voice coming from? And then I had to quickly realize this voice wasn't coming from anywhere, but from the air, just from the sky, from around me. And that voice started teaching me about health problems and health conditions and the reasons for health and giving me advanced information that's changed people's lives, just like this right here. Nobody knows how to order quarter vials. Nobody knew it existed. Nobody knew any of this stuff about what they're doing, where the blood's going. It's all info from above. And I'm just trying to message it out there. Like, yeah, the messenger to get this out there to save lives. And that's what we do. We do that at Medical Medium. The most lives saved, the most people healed on the planet outside of any lifestyle, any health genre, out of any modality, nothing beats the Medical Medium information. And I'm not saying it because I'm like, nothing beats Medical Medium, I'm the best. Like, don't mess with Medical Medium information, man. I'm not saying it because of that. I'm saying it because it's a fact.
So,
it just is what it is.
For people that many of the audience is familiar with, but people who are unfamiliar with you and are being introduced to you right now, if you were to summarize exactly what you do, and I know you do a lot, and kind of dumb it down for people that come to work with you or think about work, like how would you describe how
you
you
get answers
operate?
for the first time in chronic illness. You learn that autoimmune isn't the body's immune system attacking your organs. That is actually made up from the 1950s. Everybody's like, technology, the most advanced technology. But yet all these doctors and practitioners and coaches are all spewing out the same point that was made up in the early 1950s, which they made a guess. No technology seeing it, but they made a guess that the immune system attacks organs. It doesn't. They've never seen it. There's never been a study that showed it. It was basically a plant. It was bullshit. So people thought their bodies were the ones causing all the problems. It's your fault, Lauren. It's your fault, Michael. You're sick now. That's your body. It's attacking itself. So I want people to know out there, if you've been tricked by the autoimmune theory, it's sad. Your body doesn't attack itself. Your immune system doesn't attack itself. There's other reasons why you're sick. And so many people are poaching info now, like metals and everything else, that these are the real reasons why people are sick. The metals and the pathogens and the viruses, not the parasites, not that scam. You probably had people on here talking about parasites, not that scam. I can go in all day about how that works. But no, real viruses, stealth viruses that were put out here for people to get sick. They were put out in the environment. They were put into people. People passed them around.
What do you mean?
Generation after
Explain this to a
generation.
kindergartner. What do you mean? What do you mean they were put out?
They were put out there. They were spread out there in places for people to pick it up. for people to get these viruses. Epstein-Barr's, all the different varieties, stealth varieties that are really, really aggressive, that cause leukemia, stealth varieties of Epstein-Barr. Fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, Lyme disease, Epstein-Barr causes all that. They put that stuff out there. They engineered it. They manufactured
Who
it.
is they?
Classified medical research and science. There's classified medical research and science. I hate to be the messenger for this because it blows people's minds and they're just like, what? Classified medical research and science is different than public medical research and science. So your doctors, all the papers and researchers, all that stuff, everybody that has a doctor in front of their name, that's public medical research and science.
Okay.
Not the guys that are off the grid, that are in labs, that are working for some other evil entity. And those guys are classified medical research and science. And they spent 100 years, generations and generations of making sure herpes simplex 1 is what it is, herpes simplex 2 is what it is. Then they blamed it on, Woodstock, free sex, a sexual revolution. They said that's why everybody has these like herpes. No, they engineered this stuff. This stuff's out there. And guess what? People are getting trigeminal neuralgia. Their jaw hurts, their gums hurt, their tongue like burns, their face hurts like hell. They got cranial neuropathy, all these problems from herpes simplex 1, simplex 2, shingles, manufactured stuff.
So now
Am I
that
going
we-
too quick
No,
though? Because
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
Now that
I gotta
we
slow
know-
down.
we can keep up. We can keep up. Yeah, don't
so
worry.
now that we know,
This is the perfect show for you.
it's obviously now been publicized that COVID was likely a part of a lab leak. That's now been publicized.
Yeah,
It's
of
not
course.
it's not a conspiracy
Manufactured.
thing. So is that an example of what you're talking about?
Prime example, but even worse than that, bigger than that, going back into the early 1900s, World War I. They were in the labs and they were growing these viruses and they were raising them, making sure they become not docile anymore, making sure they become dangerous. And the whole plan was to get them out there. So by the 1940s, women just flowed into the doctor's offices with symptoms for the first time, like random weird symptoms, not just heart attacks and stuff like that, not diabetes. So sick of hearing about diabetes. No, there's real chronic illness out there. People are suffering, right? And it's from these pathogens. In 1940s, women just got sick for the first time in our history, like sick, running to doctors, all these symptoms, fatigue, can't function, all kinds of problems with their limbs, like legs feel like sandbags are attached to them, anxiety and panic that's out of control. These are all these viruses that were created in the labs, classified medical research and science, and then it took time for them to spread them, time for it to get out, just like the COVID got out, right? How did it get out the gate? It was manufactured, it was engineered, got out the gate. They did this with all these other viruses before that. That's why the chronic illness movement is what it is right now.
But don't you think there's also an element that they want things like COVID to get out there so they then can create the vaccine to save the people and get money? Like, is the vaccine the whole, is that the ecosystem?
Well, no. That's the vaccine world,
Got it.
right? This is
Different.
just minus the vaccine. You push that whole thing out.
Okay.
Then that keeps everybody busy. Just put everybody in health, like vaccine. Like push that out, right? No, this has been happening long before.
So do they want clients? What's the goal of what they want?
Well, here's what they want, okay? Originally they wanted people getting sick.
Okay.
So they can feed the industry. That's all they want. And then they wanted depopulation without it looking so fast, so quick, slow depopulation. People being chronically sick, bleed them to death with the blood work. Just, try to get the numbers up, the death numbers up. That's what the goal was for it all. And then anything in between to happen.
So when you looked at COVID and all that happened, did you hear anything? Did you see anything? Was there a clairvoyant situation going on?
I was getting people ready for it before it was out.
What did you say?
I was telling people that they're going to have this syndrome from after flus, after COVID. They're going to have this syndrome of all these respiratory viruses and stuff like flu, where it's going to trigger their immune systems, trigger them into cytokine storms, and then weaken them so that all the Epstein-Barrs start rising, all the shingles viruses start rising, so that they're going to be just bedridden. And that's what happened. There's people walking around with all kinds of symptoms, and they're getting different diagnoses now, like MS and fibro and ALS. And that's all the pathogens that are rising up in their bodies because of like flus and COVID and the next one, and now the bird flu that's going to turn into something. Like all of this is there just to beat people down, so everything else they did in the last 100 years rises up. See, they did the work for the last 100 years. They put out all the bugs. Everybody has them in them. They have the shingles and the cytomegalovirus. They got these in them. They got the, the simplex 1, simplex 2, 30 different varieties of shingles, Epstein-Barrs, HHV6, HHV7, HHV10 through 16. Everybody has it. So now they put out the flus. They put out the COVID, RSV, so that people just get knocked down. And then they have a lifetime of chronic illness and symptoms.
Which feeds the industry.
So let's
wait,
say,
really quick. Michael and I just had the worst flu we've ever had in our entire lives. Like truly, it was the worst flu. Why did that just? No. This was like, don't worry. This was a month ago. We're good now. Don't worry. Worst flu ever. I'm good now. I feel great. A month ago. But he's freaking out. Don't worry.
No, I'm
good now.
No, I get it. I'm just kidding.
But my question is the reason the flu was really, really gnarly because COVID happened? Does that make sense? Like our immune system was weaker?
Well, no, they put that flu out.
The one we just got.
They just released that.
The
that
Nora,
was released.
whatever. The fuck
that flu was released.
Got it.
That's there to beat people down. And they released that flu at the same time they released a bird flu.
Right.
Purposely.
Yeah. They said my raw milk was impacted and I still drank it.
Okay, well, exactly. So it's the bird flu and making me laugh. The bird flu and the regular flu, right? The human flu, they put those two out in hopes that they enter somebody's body at the same time, and then they sequence and turn into a deadlier flu. It's a game right now of bad flus, bird flu, regular flu, get people sick as possible, maybe throw COVID out there too, you name it. They want people to make badder, bigger, uglier flus. That's what they want. And it can happen when these flus are in the body together sparring. When they're in the body, so bird flu is sparring with the human flu and they're sparring. And then they say, we don't want to die because they don't want to kill each other. They try it first and then they back off. This is what happens. And then they say, let's sequence. Let's make a deadlier bug. And they join forces.
So
and that's what classified medical research and science is waiting for right now.
Okay, so maybe
it won't happen. Maybe God will intervene.
So we have satisfactorily scared the shit out of everyone listening. At this, now that let's follow this thread. How do you then, knowing what you know and working with people you work, how do you live your life so that you can combat all of these things that are out there that we have to contend with?
It's hard, it's like medical meme information's been censored before anybody was censored. We still get censored like nobody's business, even though our podcast cranks and we got, we reach, we reach 40 million people, whatever, in a few weeks. We're still censored pretty hard because Info broke all this stuff out really early.
I haven't seen your content in a while.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting that you said
Good
that.
luck.
Whoa, I just realized. I'm like, where's your content been?
What is it?
Good luck, because
censored.
honestly, it's a spiritual war. And basically, an angel has to go and then try to push it out your way once in a while because it's like that's how it works.
Medical medium in my phone. Wait, so you are getting censored by social media?
For real, though. I'm censored on X.
Wow.
X. Not Elon probably personally, but I was censored on Twitter, and then when Twitter turned into X, nothing was fixed on my end, and it's not like I can call Elon up and be like, Elon, I know you're busy right now, but can you fix my...
We could probably point you in the right direction for some context if you need them.
To Elon?
Not to Elon directly, but we could probably help out with that.
I would love to get X working, It's
Michael,
like...
help him Michael knows people
that
at X. Help him
platform is now, I think, the most open, and I think they've led the way in opening more platforms because people are seeing the attention that they're getting.
So
We
how
gotta
do you
remember, like
how do you live your
chemtrails. I got 40 years of putting that information out there, and the real chemtrail info, not even the geoengineering stuff that people think is happening right now. The real chemtrail stuff I put out there. That's why I'm censored and been censored, because I did it earlier. I did it first, and it's sad, really. But But you know what? We got the light on our side, and we're pushing through, and people do see us, and we still got some good stuff.
I want to talk about the light. How do you live your life with the light, and what do you advise other people to do?
Now, I look at it this way, right? It's like the original audio that I just put out there. Hay House put it out there, and it's really killer.
Who loves
It's
Louise Hay?
amazing.
Wait. You work with Hay House?
Yeah, what?
Calm down, Lauren.
No, because what's next to my bed right now?
Louise Hay.
Louise Hay in a
What?
CD form, because I don't want to have my phone frequency by my ear. It's in a CD, an evening and morning meditation. I do it every single day my whole life.
Oh my God. That is
cassette.
pretty cool.
The
You know
cassette.
I was going to ask him at the end if he liked Louise Hay.
Yeah, of course.
I
What are you
think I
kidding?
might be a medium.
Oh,
Kidding?
God, here she goes.
Can you
I've
tell
had-
him? I think but not
No.
like the medical medium. I think I'm like a frequency medium.
You could be. Yeah, that's right.
I
You
knew
could
he liked
be.
Louise Hay.
You are like tuned in a bit, and she did.
A bit?
She did call to the day our son's birth. That was not the due day. Like she called it
Okay,
to the
yep,
day,
yep.
like 6 months before, which I can vouch
No,
for
but
that.
when I first met you and shook your hand, I was like, he listens to Louise Hay. How would I know? Like, what?
That is
I
weird.
could just tell that he's on a frequency. Go ahead. Sorry. So Hay House, go ahead.
Oh yeah,
Weird.
best publisher there is, man. I've been approached by every publisher out there, and it's like, no, I stay with Hay House. They're the best. They just are, because they got soul. It's a publisher with a soul, Other publishers, I really don't have a soul there. It's different, but they got a soul. So like, because of Hayes, exactly.
So tell us about the light. How do you bring it in your life? How do you bring it to other people's life?
You just got to wake up knowing that you work for God, and that's it. It's like, how many lives am I going to save in the next month, in the next year? And medical medium books, millions and millions of copies around the world. Just millions have sold around the world.
But explain to our audience what is some of the information that's in these books that have helped save people's lives?
Answers to why you're sick for the first time, not just kind of like hack theories like oxalates, meaning like theories like this, like it's oxalates that are making you sick. No, it's the vegan diet that's making you sick. No, it's something else that's making you sick. It's like all the different, no, it's cruciferous vegetables. It's nightshades. It's like, all of that stuff just swam around forever. And then medical medium stuff hit the scene. It was like, boom. It's like, wait a minute. That's why you got fibro. That's why you got vagus nerve problems. The whole vagus nerve phenomenon is from original medical medium information and all the work I did all these years. It's like you see people saying vagus nerve, vagal stuff. It's vagal this. It's like, dude, cite it. Medical medium cite it. Because that's the whole thing. People found out, like, wait, my vagus nerves, that's right, nerves, there's two. My vagus nerves causing a problem? And why? Because the virus attached itself to the nerve. All I have to do is kill the virus, and then I'm free. And they learn. They get the right stuff. They kill their bugs. They get the metals out. They restore their nervous system, and they have freedom. They get out of wheelchairs. You don't see that out there. It's not in the carnivore movement where all these people all these years are getting out of wheelchairs that were like told they're never going to walk again because of multiple sclerosis. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And I'm not trying to boast. I'm just saying it's about saving lives. So I got to be kind of like the messenger about it. People are getting out of wheelchairs because they get the answer. So if you want to sum up medical medium information, you learn what's wrong and you learn how to fix it. That's it. You learn what's wrong. You learn how to
Anthony,
fix it.
tell us the most craziest miracle story that you have ever worked with.
There's a lot of them.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of them.
Pull out your scroll.
You can go in any direction, right?
Okay.
You can go in a direction of there was this woman who had OCD and psychosis that was so bad that she wasn't helpable on any level. And she believed that she would accidentally leave her head somewhere. Okay? Right? A really good person. Just, right? She believed that she would have to run into a mirror and make sure her head was on top of her body. but she was trying to function. She wasn't crazy. No, she wasn't crazy. She was like a normal in so many ways and everything except for this one problem. So she would have to take a mirror with her everywhere she goes. She's in the car. She'd have to have it. She'd have to check and be like, wait a minute, my head is still on my body.
How are we going to classify? Listen, I want to be sensitive, but how do we classify someone who thinks they're going to leave their head behind is not crazy? Because to me, that sounds crazy.
Because everything else passes with flying colors. How she took care of her kids,
like
how she took care of her.
Sure,
yep,
but
an OCD.
But Michael,
because you can't just call everybody with OCD
What if I
crazy.
stood up right now and pulled my dick out and pissed on the table? Would you think like I was crazy, or you'd be like everything else is normal?
Well,
I would just say, I want to get some of that in a cup, and I want it analyzed.
But I'm just saying.
And listen, because I don't know what's on me.
I can't see
because
any
I don't
more
want
of
to
your
ask
dick.
Spirit right now because I don't want the shit scared out of me when Spirit tells me
No
he's got
more of your
this.
I'm using an example of like if I did that right now, everyone in the room would look at me like this guy's crazy.
so what Michael's saying is, how did you classify that this
Like
woman?
Spirit of compassion, what was in his piss just now? Don't tell me. Get it in a cup, get it to a lab, and I'll wait for the bad news some other way.
Don't take his blood. Michael's saying, why is this person not crazy?
And I'm just pushing.
People with OCD doesn't mean they're crazy at all.
Right.
Okay. There's millions of people with OCD.
Yes.
They're suffering.
That's
some don't have it so bad where they're just like,
so they're sick.
Yeah, they're sick. They're struggling.
They're sick. They're getting
exactly. They got metals in their brain. That's info. The metals create the OCD. So many different varieties of OCD. Now, I'm not allowed to say lock the door 3 times is a variety of OCD because there's a huge swath of OCD people out there and practitioners that will literally want to burn me at the stake for saying checking the stove a bunch of times before you leave the house. When we put a post out on IG on something like that, we just get slammed by people saying, how dare you, stereotyping OCD. I know all the varieties of OCD. I know how it can go. So much so, I know about this person that nobody could fix, which she thought she left her head in different places. But she lived a very, very like balanced life. She was a good person. She took care of her family. She just had this one OCD factor, but it was so devastating. She'd have to take a mirror everywhere she would go. God forbid if the mirror fell or she left it somewhere and she was gone without one for too long, she would just run up to a pond and try to look in the pond for a reflection because it was so devastating, right? And so she couldn't even leave her bedroom for so many years because of it practically. She wasn't crazy. She had OCD, but it just was in this area, right? Was her head attached to herself? Every psychiatrist, every single healer, every single doctor did everything, did every biohack on the planet. And in the end, what fixed her, what healed her was getting the metals out of the area of the brain, off the neurons that were actually creating this reflective nightmare, which, this psychosis of the head's missing nightmare, this OCD, getting enough of the metals out. And then all of a sudden, she's like, wait a minute. No, my head is here. Wait a minute. And 3 months later, I don't need to bring a mirror anymore, Anthony. I don't have to do that. 6 months later, I don't even need to look in a mirror anymore. I'm freed. My head's on my body. And I know that. And I just had to get the metals out. Copper, aluminum, mercury, cadmium, lead,
What did you prescribe to her or advise her to do to start?
Heavy metal detox, the most powerful heavy metal detox. I don't care who, what, where. I don't care what heavy metal thing somebody puts out there tomorrow.
Can anyone do
yesterday,
this
it won't
stage?
touch this thing. There's nothing that touches the medical medium heavy metal detox.
But is it a good idea for anyone to do that?
It's a great idea. Get the metals out. Get them out, pregnant still, get them out, get the metals out safely and happily.
Give us a little look at what a day in the life of getting the heavy metals out looks like?
Well, first of all, a little disclaimer, ask your doctor what's right for you. But yes, heavy metal detox.
I have
for
to
sure.
say that in every
Tell the doctor, tell your practitioner, can I do this heavy metal detox? Go to your doctor and ask them.
What are the protocols in your detox?
What are the protocol?
Yeah.
In the heavy metal detox, there's cilantro. That's right. Cilantro still is a great one, but you can do it alone. But when you actually mix it with spirulina and barley grass juice powder, not barley grass juice powder. So you got your cilantro, your spirulina, your barley grass juice powder, And then your wild blueberries, not cultivated blueberries. They can't do crap. They can't get metals out. I'm sorry to say that. I know people love their blueberries, but they don't get metals out.
So we have wild blueberries at the house.
Nice. Wild blueberries and then dulse.
Because of you. And I'm not going to lie. I forgot that it was because of you.
You didn't fucking cite it, man.
Everybody forgets.
I forgot it was because of you. I actually learned I'm one of the ones that didn't cite it. I posted wild blueberries.
I forgive you.
Okay.
Here we are wondering who's not citing, and it was us.
Hey, people are drinking celery juice every day. They don't know it's medical medium information that made it big, right? So it's like,
okay,
and they're
you
healing
mix
from
these 4 things, spirulina.
Five things. You got to bring dulse, the seaweed, not sea
dulse.
moss. This happens every time. It's like dulse, right? Atlantic dulse.
Okay.
You need that one. That's the seaweed. And then someone will say, because everybody's like brainwashed, they'll say, sea moss? I didn't say sea moss. I didn't say sea moss. No. I didn't say neem oil. I didn't say charcoal. I didn't say sea moss. I said dulse.
So you mix these 5 things together
in any way you want. Put it on a salad. Put it in a smoothie. You want a smoothie of your liking? Make one. Put those 5 in there. But it's the 5.
How often?
Or just have those 5 throughout the day.
every day.
Yeah,
Right?
throughout the day. You had spirulina in a smoothie. You got cilantro on your salad. You're doing some seaweed, some dulse on your Atlantico seaweed on your salad. Just do it throughout the day with the heavy metal detox. I mean, it's so powerful that what it does is it safely removes the metal but doesn't drop it. It doesn't drop it. Now, I won't mention names or anything because I don't do that out there, but there's a doctor who lost his license or something. He runs 20 billion ads out there. He's got his daughter-in-law out there saying this and this. And what they do is they try to tell people, don't do cilantro. They do it purposely. They're doing it purposely. Don't do cilantro. Don't do spirulina. Spirulina drops the metals. Really? Because nobody knew anything dropped the metal. It's chlorella that drops the metal, not spirulina. So the guy would be like, you know the guy. People know the guy. He's like, no, spirulina drops the metal. He takes medical medium information and he tries to kind of re-engineer it. No, cilantro doesn't work because of this. But I'm going to tell you now.
For the ignorant at the table, what does dropping the metal mean?
Means that it's medical medium info to begin with. It's something having phytochemical compounds that goes and grabs onto the metal, holds onto it until the full duration, or at least half the duration where it passes it off to something else to grab it to get it out of the body.
Do you
That's
shit
why
it
people
out?
don't heal. Well, shit it out, piss it out.
Is it a binder?
It's automatically a binder. Absolutely.
So why this is so powerful, you guys, is that I was prescribed pill binders before to get the metal out. But what you're saying is
That
this
won't
is
work.
a natural binder.
Yeah, exactly. Pill
This
binders.
is very interesting. So
No,
what
no, no.
you're
The reason-
saying,
and
why don't
apologies-
pill binders?
There's a ton, because of info talking about heavy metals, going back 40 years about mercury in people's teeth. People were getting, they were getting silver fillings like 20 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And I was like, no, that's not bad. And people just thought I was like crazy because no, they're safe. But the point I'm trying to say is that binders don't work. That are just like, here's charcoal, it's a binder. Here's a pill with this in it. Here's zeolite and charcoal and something else, right? Here's bentonite clay, right? You heard it all, right? You guys heard it all.
It sounds
doesn't get the metals out.
It sounds like what may be frustrating for you in your life is that you're onto these things very early and people give you a lot of shit and a lot of pushback. And I imagine that's frustrating because, quote unquote, it'll make you sound like people will call you crazy or say you're out there. But
My
then
husband's
later,
pretty logical, huh?
later it will come out that, sure, you should not have heavy
You
metals
need
in
him
your teeth.
anymore? Can I go on a date with him?
It's great.
Can we
It's
go
great.
on a date?
I can use
we
break.
can.
Take you out for
I'll
coffee.
take you on a date.
He understands me.
No, he actually he does help me make sense of when I get crazy. He puts it into like bullet points.
Because
You
what
just literally summed it up. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
well, because I
didn't
can tell.
microdose before coming on here. I don't believe in it. It's
Maybe
like,
it's the dulse.
No,
What do you
because-
say?
because-
Call
because-
it
hold
the
on,
dulse.
real quick. I can tell
seaweed.
that this information is in your head and you're fully aware and that you have a shitload of knowledge, but you're throwing so much out there and it's new. And there's a lot of times people like I haven't thought about the blood work and they don't think about the metal fillings and they don't think about heavy metals. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all now coming out and becoming common
watch
knowledge.
my competitors. Watch the people that hate me that are influencers. Watch them talk like about the blood draw thing. Watch in a year, they're doing it. Watch the chiropractors that are trying to get out there and sell all their programs. Watch all the stuff. They're going to start talking about it and telling all their people, like, no, go with half vials, go with this.
But this is my thing. This is what I would tell you as a friend. Because you're being sent this information and you understand this frequency, it's almost in a way good that they're saying it, even if they don't credit
Absolutely.
you. Because they're almost being your soldiers and getting the information out there.
Listen,
it's a beautiful frequency if you look at it. That's how I would look at it. You have such great information. That. Let the soldiers go and tell.
Absolutely. But what happens is they don't say the source, so then the person doesn't get fully better. They don't say.
So you're saying that it's hurting people in a way because they're not giving all of the information.
If someone knew that they were being held back from healing, like ALS, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and there was an actual answer, they just had to get with what to do, and it was being held back because somebody had a piece of it. They didn't cite it back to medical medium.
I can understand.
And that person stays in a wheelchair for another 20 years, dies.
Talk to us about this.
This is the problem. It's not about I want recognition. I still have plenty of recognition. I mean, there's millions and millions of books sold around the planet. People know about medical medium, but it's not about that. It's about how many people are getting effed over. It's so sad. I can handle it, right? I mean, you hear a voice, you learn how to handle it, but it's about the person who's never going to get a chance because somebody just took them away from the heavy metal detox that works because they want to sell a zeolite or they want to sell something else.
Right.
And it's such a dog eat dog world. And all the chronically ill, the people that get mulched up into the grinder and just tossed away, or they got 10 more years of hell before an angel pushes a book off the shelf at Barnes & Noble's, a medical medium book, and they're like, what is this? And they grab it, and they're like, oh my God, this is talking to me. Now I know why I'm sick with real neurological symptoms. This is real. And then they heal, right? Why do people all have to wait for that moment where an angel knocks a book off a shelf? How come they just right now, they're getting sidetracked so easily because someone's like, no, spirulina is bad. Don't ever do that. Do chlorella. Oh, no, this is good. You should do charcoal. Do the alkaline ionizer water machine. That'll fix you. Don't listen to medical medium about celery juice. That's just bull. And it's like, it's so sad. But we have the most people healed.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your own terms. Now is the time. You've been thinking about starting that side hustle, thinking about starting that new business, thinking about building a platform that you control online. Well, now Squarespace can help you do it. Lauren and I could not be bigger proponents of owning your own online persona, owning your own website, your own newsletter, your own RSS feed, your own e-com store, and your own content. So many of us rely on these third-party platforms, and we put our entire social identity, our entire business, and so many eggs in the basket of third parties that we don't control. With Squarespace, you can control your destiny and control your platform. So whether you want to start taking payments, Squarespace can enable you to do that. If you want to build an e-com store, you can do that. If you want to build content and sell that content, Squarespace makes it easy to sell access to content on all of your websites like online courses, blogs, videos, memberships, whatever you want to do. They have SEO tools and visual design tools, so long gone are the days of having to hire 18 different developers and designers with exorbitant costs. Squarespace makes it all easy, cost-effective, and timely in one place. So check them out. Stop waiting. Take action now. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, squarespace.com/skinny to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/skinny.
Having no hair extensions has been life-changing. It's honestly so much easier for me. I was doing the clip-in extensions for so long and it was a pain. And the reason that I don't have to use extensions anymore is because my hair is growing like a weed. So I've done a lot of things differently. I obviously went brunette, so I switched my hair color. I have been doing a lot of microneedling around the scalp. I massage my hair. I eat a lot of organ meat and I supplement. And I don't play around with my supplements. I go to the best of the best, the creme de la creme of supplements. And for hair, that is hands down for hair thinning, shedding, hair issues, Nutrafol. If you're unfamiliar, Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. They are trusted by over 1.5 million people, including me. And that is why, you guys, this Mother's Day, Nutrafol makes the perfect gift. There's something for every mom on your list. The postpartum formula is really fabulous for women in the first year after giving birth. That's what I'll switch to when I give birth. They also have a woman's balance formula, which is ideal for women 45 and up who are experiencing perimenopause or menopause. And of course, there's the woman's formula, which I have taken and I love, and that is for women who are in between life stages. This Mother's Day, consider Nutrafol the best-selling hair growth supplement. Whether you're gifting yourself or a loved one, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off any order. Enjoy free shipping when you subscribe. Go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code SkinnyHairGift. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code SkinnyHairGift. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code SkinnyHairGift.
One of the best parts about producing this show outside of building a business around it is that we've actually changed our lives by getting information that has helped us to live healthier, more productive lives. One of the greatest pieces of information we got was from the founder of Branch Basics, Allison, on this very podcast, because Allison turned us on to her incredible company, Branch Basics. Their premium starter kit replaces dozens of toxic cleaners with just one powerful plant and mineral-based concentrate. There's no synthetic fragrances, no harsh chemicals, no hormone disruptors, just real effective cleaning that's safe for babies, pets, and the planet. What I realized about our home before switching to Branch Basics is that we had a ton of cleaning supplies in the house that had all sorts of harmful chemicals, hormone disruptors, things that we would never want around our kids, our family, our pets, and we were just using them unbeknownst to all of these issues. When I got turned on to Branch Basics and realized there was a product that cleaned just as effectively without having all of those harmful chemicals and hormone disruptors, it was an absolute no-brainer. You can use it to tackle everything from counters to bathrooms, laundry, anything in your house, all with one simple fragrance-free formula that actually works. It's also cost-effective because this one concentrate replaces dozens of cleaners, perfect for deep cleans, daily messes, and everything in between. And long gone are the days of storing a million different chemical cleaning supplies in the house. With Branch Basics, you can just have one product to replace them all. Visit branchbasics.com/skinny15 and use code skinny15 at checkout for 15% off, plus free shipping on your first purchase. That's branchbasics.com/skinny15. Use code skinny15 for 15% off, plus free shipping on your first order of your premium starter kit today.
Tell me, you've mentioned, I want to hear about a story about a wheelchair. You've mentioned that a lot, and something with cancer, because I know that you've explored that. Tell us some stories around those.
Well, it works. Look, there's people in the medical medium community who have used medical medium information, right? And it has healed their cancer. And there's so many people around the world using medical medium info to heal so many different health problems.
When you say healed their cancer, give me more of like a micro level of what you're talking about. Like, get very detailed.
They tried everything. They did the chemo, they did the radiation, they did surgeries, they did hyperbaric oxygen therapy, they did ozone therapy, they did blood transfusions, they did all these different things, right? And they're just stuck and it's not moving. And the doctor's saying like, well, you're not in remission. You're not there yet. You're just stationary. That's what's happening. And then they come across a medical medium book or somebody else that said, no, it helped them with their cancer. And they're applying the information. And then they go to their doctor and the doctor's like, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it because everything's changing here.
What are the things that they're doing though? Like, is it the heavy metal detox? Is it the Celery? Like, tell me what they're doing when they go to the doctor and the doctor says,
when someone says I did medical medium, it doesn't mean they did like medical medium, right? You get people who invest their time and energy, right? Not their money. It's all free. Medical medium stuff is all free. All of it. I don't do classes, courses, retreats. I don't do that.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
interesting.
paywall.
I didn't know that.
My podcast, right? My podcast is the only podcast out there at that level that doesn't have advertisers, nothing going on. It's all free listening.
You have no courses, retreats, anything.
No, it's all free because in the end, because I hear a voice, when I leave here, I want to be like, I did everything I could. And I'm not saying courses are bad. Everybody can do all the courses they want. It's all good. I'm just saying that I haven't. I want this free and accessible for chronically sick people because they've been swept under the carpet for ages. swept under the carpet.
So what are these cancer patients doing that is in your book and your protocol that you think is helping? Give us some examples for someone.
Heavy metal detox is a big one.
Okay.
Right there. Getting the metals out, but really getting the metals out is a big one.
And how do you do that?
Keeping the fats low. That's another one too. Not inundating yourself with so many overt fats, not loading up all the overt fats, like doing all the oils and all the coconut oil. I'm not saying coconut's bad, but doing all the heavy coconut oil, smoothies with peanut butter and, oatmeal bowls with peanut butter and gobs of peanut butter. Like, have you ever see anybody do that stuff?
My husband just had a smoothie with literally oatmeal and peanut butter before this show with coconut cream.
There you go.
It wasn't that big.
It was literally that exactly what he just said.
It's all the high
Can't
fat,
believe you put me on
high
blast
fat,
like this.
right? It's
Can't
all
believe you're
high
doing
fat.
this in front of the medical medium.
But this is if we're talking about if someone has cancer, you don't like a lot of high fat.
The reason why is because when you have that much fat swimming around, it makes it hard for the immune cells to do their job. They're just trying to swim through fats. Your bloodstream is filled with it. And you get in trouble because with that much fat swimming around in your bloodstream, everything gets slow. Your liver gets stagnant and sluggish and slow. Your liver's immune system gets slow. Your lymphocytes get slow. Your immune cells get slow. Everything does because there's so much fat always just moving around. I'm not saying you can't have avocado. You can't do a little coconut. You can't have a nut butter. It's just that people are drowning themselves in it. That's the difference. You can go any direction, right? You can go carnivore and do fat through meat, right? Fat, whatever, through some kind of animal protein. You can go vegetarian and you're doing oils, and dairy, fat, dairy, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? You can go in any direction you want. You could be vegan and do oils, tons of avocado, all these nut butters. You could be a vegan that's living off of tablespoons of nut butter every day and putting it in everything, but you're just drowning yourself in fat. And Info isn't one side of the aisle or the other. And you might have heard that before. It originally starts with the thing, where Info's for everybody. You can be doing animal protein and heal. You can be a vegan or plant-based and heal. But you got to do it right. You got to watch those fats. You got to get the metals out, and you got to kill the bugs.
How do you do that?
Well, cancers, bugs. See? Bugs create cancers. Viruses like Epstein-Barr create cancer. Viruses like shingles create cancer. All the different bugs are cancer creators. The viral cell turns into a cancer cell and it feeds off of things to do that. Feeds off of toxins, and having really a high fat diet doesn't help the situation. And you want to kill off the bugs, but it's hard to kill off the bugs if you have too much fat swimming around. Think about this. You got some bugs in your body, they're in your liver, but your liver is a fatty liver. It's loaded with all this fat. How do you kill that virus easily? When it's buried deep inside that liver, feeding off tissue buried within all that fat. It's not easy. You have to keep the fats down low, keep it balanced. You can still have them, but lower them. If you want to be animal protein, got to drop the fats down a little bit and be cautious. You want to be plant-based, drop the fats down a little bit, and then you can kill bugs. Salvation is bug killing, metal removing, other toxins too. That's salvation for somebody.
What does celery juice do? You're known for this. Tell us about celery juice first thing on an empty stomach. There can't be lemon in it, or there should be lemon.
Well, okay. Anybody can put whatever they want in it, of course. I'm not saying don't do that. But you want it by itself, and you want it strained so that you're not just dealing with all these pieces of celery.
Got it.
Because you don't want your hydrochloric acid to have to focus on anything but the juice.
Okay.
Right? So you do celery juice
like
by
a cocktail
itself.
strainer, you're just saying strain, like you blend the juice up.
You can get a juice machine, right?
Yep, juice machine.
Yeah.
Strain the-
You want to
okay.
do a blender, you
Our
just got to
hotel
squeeze
does
it through a nut cloth or a cheesecloth.
Okay.
But you want to get that straight celery juice in you, empty stomach. You don't want to have it mixed up with a whole bunch of avocados. You don't want it mixed up with beef.
Filled with electrolytes, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Do I look like a guy that's blending my avocado with beef?
I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Yeah, we're
A lot
not
of
sure about
a
you.
lot of people put butter on their beef, okay? So I don't know, right? They put avocado on their toast. They put butter on their beef. They'll probably put avocado on their beef.
What are the benefits of celery on an empty stomach?
Okay, so you got these little stomach glands, right?
Okay.
They produce your gastric acid,
Okay.
gastric juices, your HCl. That gastric juice breaks down your proteins. If it doesn't break down your proteins rot. You create ammonia, and you just start losing your teeth down the road. You start, say what you will about my looks or how I dress or whatever, but I got all my teeth and I'm not 30 years old. So, or 25 years old and I got all my teeth. But the point is the celery juice, it kills bacteria, it kills viruses, it kills fungus that's unproductive, it kills mold, it kills yeast. It's a killer. You use that in your body every single day and you're killing bugs every single day. But you're also strengthening your gastric glands to kill bugs too. Your HCl is a bug killer too. You drink celery juice every single day, you build up your HCl, and that destroys bugs on a daily level. Your HCl kills bugs, your celery juice is killing bugs. And if you just keep on that, people just do that alone. It's like my gout's gone. Like, dude, how did my gout go away? My feet don't hurt anymore from celery juice. Like, what's going on here? Or say somebody who's tried everything, they've done everything, they've been there, they've done that, and they got nothing left, and they're just like sipping celery juice. 3 days later, they're like, what the? I'm actually getting better. And it's like a shock.
So it's quick.
It's quick for a lot of people, man.
How have you seen people give this to their kids? Do they mix an apple in with it? What do they do?
Yeah, you could start that I
actually like the taste of it alone.
Acclimation. A little bit of that, a little bit of apple juiced in there. That's fine. You acclimate. Next thing you know, the kids are drinking it by itself.
Right. So you
do
just
2 ounces, 4 ounces.
What's something when it comes so obviously you are known for celery juice, even if people don't realize that it's coming from you.
Yep.
What's a misconception or something that drives you crazy where people think they're using it for one thing, but it's the wrong thing? Like they think they're like curing something, but it's not. All the things you just described are the things that you have a purpose for. Like
what happens is that everybody's different. And
does that question make sense?
What you find, yeah, it kind of does.
Meaning, like people like I've been told drink celery juice, and I oh, am I doing that to lose? Like I don't.
He didn't know why I was giving it to him.
Like a lot of people are just drinking celery juice without the knowledge, like you mentioned earlier. I'm trying to kind of cipher out.
You know how you see a whole bunch of people out there, their guts are a mess. They got bloating. They got problems with their guts. They don't know what's going on. They just whatever. Like celery juice is like the all-time gut bringer backer.
Huh.
Like it is just one of the big ones. You got gut problems, you drink that celery juice every day, watch that bloating start minimizing, watch, your gastric acid, reflux, your cramps, your stomach kind of feeling like a ping pong ball is moving through your intestinal tract, flatulence, that's crazy. You start drinking celery juice on a regular basis and life starts to change for so many people. So yeah, right off the running, but you get people who tried everything, done that, they got exposures like pharmaceuticals, right? All kinds of pharmaceuticals, all kinds of different exposures. They got metals galore. They got 10 bugs, not one bug, 10 bugs, 20 bugs, right? And they're so sick that it's going to take more than some celery juice.
Right.
And you got to now customize. And that's why people heal with medical medium, because it's not one size fits all. When they get into it, they're like, what? I can actually, he says here, you can customize a protocol, off of his stuff, customize it. And so people customize it and they start learning and they break barriers. We had people that got rid of 100 symptoms. 100 symptoms.
What were they doing? They were doing celery juice, heavy metal detox.
Heavy metal detox, celery juice, keeping the fats down, spinach soup, raw spinach soup, and that is the devil in health, in the health movement. The influencers, everybody, they think spinach is bad. Everybody out there, you'll see it. They'll be like, don't
I've
eat.
seen it. I've
You've
seen it. Yep, I've seen it.
Right? Meanwhile, it's one of the most powerful healing tools is making a raw spinach soup. Just medical medium. Just go to the website. It's for free.
Why
What
do
are you
people
going to
think
spend?
spinach is
Nothing.
bad?
Learn what it is and start eating it.
Why do people think spinach is bad?
What
When did that
about
happen?
all of these? A lot of people, they say kale's bad, spinach is bad.
Well, they say kale's bad because of the pesticides, right?
Thyroid, a lot of thyroid
Cruciferous,
questions.
yep.
Tell us about what to do with a thyroid problem.
Well, here's the problem with thyroid stuff is all this thyroid hack stuff has been out there, but nobody knew what was wrong with the thyroid to begin with and why people were having thyroid problems.
Which is?
Epstein-Barr virus.
Huh.
That is the thyroid virus. It enters into the thyroid at a certain stage, and it gets in there and it drills in and it wreaks havoc and it creates the hypothyroidism. It creates the hyperthyroidism. Get this, it creates both sometimes. Some people have 2 Epstein-Barrs in their thyroid and they got hyper and hypo. And then the nodules and the cysts grow because the thyroid's making the virus is making scar tissue inside the thyroid, and you're getting nodules and cysts. And because nobody knew that, everybody was guessing like, bok choy, it's bok choy. That must be why everybody's thyroids are bad. No, it's cruciferous. It's goitrogenic stuff. That must be what it is. It's like back to the same old biohack stuff with no insults. I'm not trying to, I get no disrespect for people who care. Just so nobody gets me wrong. If you're a health coach, if you're a practitioner, if you're an acupuncturist, if you're an ND, if you're an MD, holistic doctor, I got a lot of respect for you. Just because I'm like over here just shooting my mouth off about this doesn't mean I don't have deep respect, because you're in it to help people and help them heal. And I want people to have their practitioners, their coaches, and their doctors. That's all. It's just that I have to fight to get the information out there in hopes to save lives. So it takes a little bit more of, it takes more than just be like, yeah, I don't know, just pick up a medical medium book and maybe someday you might like find an answer. It takes more than that. I have to
bring the energy.
I got to bring the energy. Mm-hmm. I need people to know they can heal.
How do you heal your thyroid?
You got to kill that virus.
And what does that entail?
And guess what? Thousands have with medical medium info.
I've heard.
They've gotten their thyroids back.
Yeah.
There's people that had just this much thyroid left, right? That much thyroid left. And they were on thyroid medication, and they were able to heal that much of their thyroid left and get off the medication. Their doctor's like, this is amazing.
Is it taking the heavy metals out of their diet? What is the specific that heals the thyroid?
You got two things going on that are the most important that you got to look out for, and it is the pathogens like the Epstein-Barr. That's the big one. Okay. And the other one is toxic heavy metals. That's the second one. And then you got a bunch of little ones like radiation. That's a problem. DDT, which is still in people every day. Different pesticides, toxins, and poisons that are in people, right? So you have all of this different stuff that is actually getting into people every day, all these exposures, solvents, petrochemicals, right? You got all those and they're chipping away, and it's death by 1,000 cuts, like I've always said all these years. But the metals and the pathogens right there. It's those two devils. You got to learn how to knock them back if you want to heal. Or you're going to play the game where I'm 22 years old, my body's, strong enough so I can play musical chairs. Let me try this little hack, and let me try this biohack, and let me try this, and I'll eat this way this time. And maybe it is the plate that I'm eating the food on here. Maybe it's not. And you're just swimming in it. But then when you get 39 years old and you picked up maybe 2 more Epstein-Barrs and 1 more shingles and 1 more, CMV, you're like, holy shit, I'm sick. Help me. I'm sick. Where do I go? My thyroid's trashed. My doctor says I have autoimmune. I can't get out of bed. Like, what happened to me? I tried everything.
So what you're saying is when they're young, their system can handle the bombardment, but as you collect more,
it handles the guessing
down.
games. Yeah. You handle the guessing games when you're young. You're 21 years old. You get working out. You get rid of the processed foods. You're handling it pretty good. A little bit of bloating, a little bit of acne, but you don't learn how to truly heal. And then it comes and it sneaks up on you like a dragon, and it takes you down when you're 41, 42, and you're like, what is wrong with me? I can't even function. I can't take care of my family. And I see it over and over again. Every decade, it's like, oh, a whole nother group of people didn't know, and they were doing all the biohacks. They didn't know, and they thought they had it down. Oop, a whole nother group of people. I just got to watch it go by.
So someone can heal their thyroid? Is there a certain like vegetable or juice or thing that you give to them? Or is it basically the heavy metal detox with the celery juice?
The opposite of what people believe, the cruciferous hurting the thyroid is actually antiviral and helps the thyroid.
Okay.
It's almost like a brain screw of all brain screws out there, Like cruciferous doesn't hurt the thyroid. It helps support it. It's not the fix-it for a thyroid that's problematic.
What's the fix-it?
The fix-it is you got to go after the virus with an anti-Epstein-Barr protocol is what you have to do. You have to have the right herbs. You have to have the right stuff, not just a big bottle of all these herbs and alcohol, and it says immune system support.
Right.
You have to know like which ones. This is like,
you have to be thoughtful.
You have to be thoughtful, but you got to be on point. You got to be spot on.
How do you protect your own energy when you have all these people who don't feel good that need your help? Like, I'm sure like your text messages are out of control.
You know what it is?
Can I have your number?
Yeah, before you leave, write it down.
I literally asked 2% of people who come on the show for their number.
I have a couple ailments I need to go through.
Go ahead. I have been looking for weightlifting shoes, like to train in, for a long time. And I finally found ones that not only I can lift weights in, but I can also go pick up my kids in. The brand is called Noble, and the shoe that I like is the Noble All Day. This is the shoe for on the go. So what I like to do is I'll lift in these shoes, and then I'll pick my kids up at school, run errands. I'll go to the office in these shoes. I got the white ones. I love white tennis shoes. They obviously have a bunch of different shoes. There's one that's called the Outwork that is just for training, but personally, I prefer the All Day. I just like how I can train in it and then I can move through my day with it. They have a beautiful new spring collection that launches this month, so make sure you're following them to check them out. If you're unfamiliar with Noble, let me tell you, they are comfortable. I can tell you that because I'm very pregnant. Noble is known for their best-in-class, award-winning footwear. With options across training and lifestyle, Noble has options for everyone. I just think like I want to be very, very comfortable, but I also want support in my shoe when I'm training. And then I don't want to have to take my shoes off after I train to switch shoes. So that's why I like this company a lot. A lot of you have DM'd me that you love these shoes. And exclusively for him and her listeners, Noble is offering 30% off your order. Visit nobleproject.com/TSC, 30% off your entire order. That's www.nobleproject.com/TSC. You get 30% off.
Before Lauren and I moved to Texas when we were living in LA, we weren't getting nearly enough protein. This is not a commentary on LA, just our diet at the time was not incorporating nearly enough protein. For some reason, we moved out here, we started learning more and more about protein and how much we need more of it in our bodies. These are the building blocks of our hair, our skin, our nails, our muscles, all the things that we need to grow into healthy human beings, which is why we love Kettle and Fire. Kettle and Fire is the cleanest bone broth. Kettle and Fire's bone broth tastes amazing, and Kettle and Fire uses only grass-fed and finished beef bones. There's a big difference between just grass-fed. Kettle and Fire goes above and beyond and uses grass-fed and finished. What we also love is Kettle and Fire has 19 grams of protein per serving. This is a great way to get your morning protein in, your evening protein, and just feel good throughout the day. It's also not just a great source of protein, but also a great source of collagen. Many studies show that human beings do not get nearly enough collagen in their bodies. This can help with your joint, your hair, your nails, your muscle joints, so many different things that we need in order to feel healthy. I personally love starting my day, even sometimes before the gym, with Kettle and Fire and using their bone broth because I get the protein boost that I need. And I get a warm, tasty beverage. So check them out. If you've been thinking about bone broth, Kettle and Fire is the way to go. You can find Kettle and Fire in almost every grocery store nationwide. I remember when they were just in Whole Foods. Now they are everywhere, Walmart, Target, pretty much anywhere you can buy food. But if you also want the hookup, you can save 20% off if you go to kettleandfire.com/skinny. Again, 20% off at kettleandfire.com/skinny or at any stores you can find food. Quick break to talk about Naked Wines. Anytime Lauren and I get invited to a friend's house, to a dinner party, anytime we pretty much get invited anywhere at a friend's home or an event, we always bring either a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne. This is why I could not be more excited to talk about Naked Wines. Naked Wines is a service that directly connects you to the world's finest independent winemakers so you can get award-winning wine delivered straight to your door. How do they do it? Naked Wines connects winemakers and wine drinkers directly, allowing for vineyard to your door delivery at up to 60% off. Who doesn't want their wine for up to 60% off what you would pay typically in the store? By cutting out the traditional retail middleman costs and markups, winemakers can pass these savings on to you without skimping on quality. And like I said, you get it straight to your door. This is a great way to get unique wines that's going to keep people talking, as well as find delicious and unique bottles. Naked Wines has been around for over 15 years and funds over 90 independent winemakers around the world with no commitments or membership fees. You can enjoy Naked Wines hassle-free. So check them out. Now is the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/skinny, click enter voucher and put in our code skinny for both the code and password for 6 bottles of wine at just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/skinny and use the code and password skinny for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99.
Did you know that most toilet paper has formaldehyde and chlorine in it? It also has dyes. I was shocked to know, I found out this probably a year ago, that there's all of these crazy things in toilet paper. We're wiping our most intimate areas with this all day long. My daughter is using the toilet paper. My husband's using it. I went on this like wild goose chase to find the best toilet paper on the market. And while I found some brands that were great, I also wanted to create something better. And so that's what we've done at the Skinny Confidential. We have created a better choice. I was involved in every single detail of this toilet paper. We took out formaldehyde, we took out chlorine, we took out the dyes. We took out all the things that I didn't want my family exposed to. And then, of course, in our very Skinny Confidential way, we wrapped it in pink, as you can see. I wanted the experience of the delivery when you got it to be very romantic and pretty. Never are you excited about getting your monthly delivery of toilet paper, and I wanted to make you excited. So it comes in the most luxurious box. You open it, it's packaged cute, and it also has our little stamp on it. And you can put this on all of the rolls in your house and know that it's a better choice for you and your family. I am so passionate about this launch. We have been working on this launch for a long time. My team is so excited about it. It's shaking up the market and it's disruptive and it's everything that we want to bring to the table. So if you're looking for a better choice when it comes to your toilet paper, go to shopskinnyconfidential.com. Grab it now. We will sell out, but we're doing subscription. So I would definitely say to subscribe so you can make sure that you get it monthly. That's shopskinnyconfidential.com.
You know what it is? When you see people suffer and you see what's taken away from them, like the quality of life, and you know that they're looking out their window and they see cars going by and they see everybody like living their life, it seems, and they're stuck and they're hurting and they've been to their 12th doctor. And they're getting their blood drawn left and right, and they're spending thousands of dollars on programs, like $5,000 a program. They're doing all these different things, and they're suffering. They're actually really suffering. And then they're on their hands and knees. They're praying to God at night, saying, "God, like I don't pray to you too often, but you got to save me. You got to help me because I think I'm gonna die, and I need help." And when you know people are suffering like that, you got to fight for it. So that's what I do. I get up every morning and I'm like, you know what? Let's do it again. Doesn't matter about censorship. Screw it. Doesn't matter if because, people are doing this, whatever. Just get the information the best you can to people. Save lives as much as possible because, man, the suffering's real. It's no joke. And you know what? You don't know it unless you're in their shoes. Unless you're in their shoes and you feel those legs, they feel like sandbags, and you got heart palps that are going crazy, you got pain in your jaw, and the dentist already did 2 root canals and doesn't know why you're hurting, and you're dizzy half the time, and you get in the car and you got anxiety, and you're like, oh my God, I am sick at 31 years old. And you know what? Unless you're in their shoes, will you ever know? But I have an ability. It's not because I'm special, hearing Spirit of Compassion all these years.
You are special. You are to hear.
I'm honored you say so, but I'm not going to let my head get too big today. You're going to get my head big. Okay. Anyway, but the point is that Spirit says these people are suffering. We have to help them. Let's keep on moving forward. And yeah, I'm not in their shoes, but you know what? I can get in touch with people and what they're going through. And I've done everything I could to get in touch with compassion. And Spirit of Compassion talks to me, but I'm not Spirit of Compassion. I'm Anthony William, AW, and I need to get in touch with that too. So when I was younger, it's like, when I was 7 years old, Spirit of Compassion would say, go into this graveyard down the road and start getting in touch with people, their names, what they died from. I will tell you what killed them. Was it a car accident? This person who died in 1925? Was it some kind of disease? Was it some kind of big whatever? And so I would 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, till I was like 13 years old or, 14 years old. I was in cemeteries talking to Spirit of Compassion and getting in touch with sadness, with despair, with lost hope, with people who have passed and why they've been passed. Because really, I just wanted to ride my bicycle, hop on a skateboard. I didn't want to do this work.
What did your parents say? What did your parents say when you were going to cemeteries?
Oh my God, they were just like, okay, we'll drive you in there. We'll drop you off. We'll keep an eye on you.
They didn't understand what was going on.
We can.
They supported you.
No, they understood what I told them what was going on. And they saw it. They saw it when I was at a convention with my dad, like a hobbyist convention. We were there. And I was telling people, I was yanking on I was like 7, 8 years old. I was yanking on their jackets and telling them, hey, mister, this is what you got wrong with you, hey, missus, this is what you got missed. This is what you got wrong with. Next thing you know it, my dad will tell you, and I'm going to get him on a podcast at some point, but he'll tell you there were 30 people to 50 people, then 70 people in line. At 4 hours later, I was standing there, and one person at a time was like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with Michael?
What's wrong with Michael?
Yeah. Can you tell us? Is that like how it works? Can I just ask you and put you on the spot, or is that not how it works?
He's got a lot of things going on.
Does he really actually?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He's got all kinds of gut stuff going on. He's got bugs.
How do you know?
I know.
So it's not like
My
it's.
gut started feeling pretty good, actually.
So it's not.
Yeah, but you still got it. You still got all the little buggies. They're just
That is what the doctor did tell you after you got a
You know,
blood
it's funny you say that.
really.
Yeah.
Is I did my blood
That
work,
is what the
not too many
doctor said.
vials, and it all came back great.
But the
But then I
gut.
did a gut, and he's like, "Oh, you need to fix your gut."
That
Uh-huh.
is weird. What about me?
What about you?
Yeah.
You're doing good. You're doing good. But you have a lot of
Okay, I'm
toxins.
out.
No, she's got a lot
Look,
of toxins.
and-
You're really high in the toxin scale.
He is 100%
But
right,
a
you
lot
guys.
of different ones. I mean, a lot of them.
So I need to do the heavy metal detox.
It's not just metals. You got like weird stuff. You got like carpet cleaning chemicals in you and just all kinds of stuff. You got like, a little bit of asbestos got in you somehow from when you were younger. Like you're just loaded with a sprinkle of all kinds of stuff.
So what can I do?
We can work on it. We can get you like working on it.
But
There's stuff to do.
is it like a juice, or is it like it's herbs? It's like the whole package.
It's customizing, like you got to customize. You can do the HMDS, heavy metal detox. You can do that. That will get a lot of it out. But, you should be on a couple of other things too. There's still some more stuff to do.
That is really weird that he said that, because I did do a toxin
And
test
we got to protect your baby.
and it was high. You know what I'm talking about. And I was told to sauna and do binders,
Yeah.
which we're going to get into. But what's really weird about that?
And your gut stuff still
is
was
when I-
always problematic too. Like your gut stuff was a little bit there and everything. So you had a bunch of stuff, but you're also really toxic.
So
No
what's-
insult.
no, it's okay. My parents' house when I was little was all carpet.
Yeah. Okay.
So he mentioned carpet cleaner
Did they ever clean it?
all the time.
That's it right there.
I remember the carpet
And that's on
cleaner.
the top of Spirit's list is the carpet cleaning chemicals for you. It was like, I said, you sure you want me to say that? Like, sounds weird. That's what I said this SOC. I'm like, you sure you want me to say
Really
that?
weird.
And Spirit gave me that as your top
So you can
contender.
immediately know what's wrong
That's
with
how
them.
it works, just like that.
Well, I have to ask this big question, because this is I feel like sums up the whole show. What are all these heavy metals from? How did we get them in the first place? Why are we so inundated with them?
Passed down from generation to generation, going all the way back to the 1800s, 1700s, and beyond. Just gets passed down, utero. It just gets passed down, to the embryo, to then the baby, to the womb, sperm. It's just.
What he said. I gotta say.
It's accumulating.
I gotta say. Listen, we've been called woo woo, and I know this episode.
You guys have?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
I know this episode
You know what? There
is
was
going.
an article
it's
that was
gonna.
going to come out that I
I
thought
don't-
would be nice, but I think after this,
You know
it's going
what,
to probably
Anthony?
do it.
I
It's
am
going to be a hit
fucking woo
piece.
woo. Guess what? I am.
We're going to get another hit piece on us.
That's fine. But here's what I'll say. A lot of the stuff that you said completely makes sense to me. Energetically, I see what the passing down through the sperm, the
Well, okay.
cleaners that you're exposed to when you're young, transpiring into toxins. What he's saying is a certain
Well,
wavelength.
listen, here's the thing that we've been saying for a long time on this show. At some point, people go down the traditional route. And what I would mention to you, and I meant to say this in the beginning, is we had an MD on the show recently, a friend of ours. He became an MD at the age of 21. Brilliant guy, very smart. As he was an MD and a surgeon, got very, very unhealthy and very sick himself. And what he told us on this very show was that of all those years in medical school, even being a very successful doctor, nobody ever taught him how to be healthy. There was no nutrition classes. There was no what to eat. There was none of that. He said our medical system is designed to deal with tragedy. You get hit by a car, you get a cancer, you get sick.
We need that.
Of course, of course we need that. But he was saying there's in this, and this is now being talked about a lot more. Him as an MD was saying like none of the MDs really in school are taught about what we're talking about here, which is how to live a healthy life, right? When he himself got sick, you would think as a doctor, he'd be able to figure it out. He didn't know. He had to go talk to people like yourself and others to figure out where to get healthy. And I think it's relevant to talk about because people go down the path with a traditional MD and they don't get the answers and they get sicker and sicker and sicker to the point where then finally they become open to speaking to someone like yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
And
Well,
it's
you know what
frustrating.
happened with medical medium information, right? It's not like somebody wakes up one day and they're just like, they get sick and they're like, I'm going to go to the medical medium first. Let me go to him first.
Yeah.
It's rare. You know, it's not like a lot of people. It's everybody who did everything. It's the most seasoned people on the planet. It just is.
Well,
I have to
Miranda
give them
Kerr
credit.
talked about you on the podcast. She's obviously very into wellness. What is your thoughts on cold plunge sauna? I have to ask you just selfishly.
It's I've been talking about this for years, forever. If you're compromised with some kind of neurological problem, neurological symptoms, maybe you get migraines, maybe you have tingles and numbness, whatever it is, maybe you got vertigo or some other kind of thing, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're struggling with some kind of issue, some kind of problem. I'm not totally against it for athletes and stuff. Like athletes, it's just totally, they're built like tanks, right? They nothing seemed to, there are athletes that get sick with chronic illness and now they're down. That's it. They're down. Okay. That's another story. But athletes that don't have really a complaint, they have an injury once in a while, whatever it is, you can throw them in an ice tub. Sure. Of course you can. And have them doing it. But for the chronically ill, I don't recommend it.
That makes sense.
Don't. It's hard on the adrenals. I'm not a big fan of it. So yeah.
Parasites, you mentioned. You have to tell us about that. a
Oh,
little
the
bit.
parasite scam.
Tell
Oh
us
my
about
God.
the parasite scam. It reminds me of like the mesothelioma commercial. I am really on to that right now. Remember the mesothelioma commercial? There's all this shit on parasites now.
Yeah. No, I know. Parasites is going to be the new thing.
Okay.
And what parasites is doing is, the parasite thing is they're now they've always had the parasite game before, right? But they would just do bentonite clay, and that's what they would do. Bentonite clay and charcoal and all kinds of crazy herbs and stuff right? That's what they would do. And it would be like cleansers, intestinal tract cleansers. You might have a
Right.
parasite.
Yep.
That's what it was. And then what happened is you got millions of medical medium books, protocols about how to get rid of Lyme disease in every single different condition. Hundreds of thousands of people got rid of Lyme disease on medical medium information, and all the practitioners and doctors and influencers were learning about cat's claw now. And they were learning about some different things, medical medium tools for chronic illness.
That's an herb.
Yeah.
That's called.
So now you see parasitical stuff have like lemon balm in it, which medical medium put that stuff on the map.
I remember reading that about in your book.
Yep, and cat's claw. So they're slipping that into the parasite protocols, right? But really what it is, it's not even parasites that are the problem. It works like this. You get a parasite, it's either you or the parasite. You die or the parasite dies. That's it. Bottom line. You get a parasite from eating some food out. We're in LA and we're like, let's go out to dinner, you guys. Let's do it. And one of us picks up a parasite. Okay. Your body has to kill it then, or that night, or that day, or that week. If it doesn't, and that parasite is aggressive, and you're in the hospital now, and you're hooked up to IVs and morphine, and they don't know what to do, your body has to kill it, or it kills you. That's a parasite. That's how it works. There is no, I've been sick for 10 years, it must be a parasite. No.
Okay.
You were sick for 10 years because you have a virus. The parasite scam is tricky because it's going to grow and become a big old snake. No one's cutting the head off the snake, and it's sad. There's going to be a million parasitical, programs and protocols, and everybody's going to have a supplement with parasite written on it and all of that. Meanwhile, the chronically ill get screwed over again. It's viruses, bacteria like strep, metals, it's pathogens,
Toxins?
not toxins. It's not parasites. Parasites is like this. You get a parasite, you fight for your life till it's gone. If it's a real mild parasite, you kill it off quick. Don't even know it. That's how parasites work. You get a bad parasite? Yeah, it's you or that parasite, and it could kill you, and it does a lot of people. But there is no, I've been sick for 2 years.
It doesn't stay in there for 10 years and
No.
fight you.
It's
Yeah.
not a worm.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, maybe it's a worm.
And
but-
worms aren't parasites. Another mistake that parasite people don't
Got
know or
it.
don't tell you.
Huh.
Worms are worms. People can live with worms, but worms are different than parasites.
Let's hope you don't see worms on us. Before you go, I want to
If you
know.
would have said I have worms, I'd immediately I'm out.
Taylor has worms. Before you go, tell us what your top supplements, herbs, and routine is. Like, what does Anthony wake up with? Honestly, And what do you go to bed with? What's your protocol, routine, supplements, all the things?
Yeah, I wake up in the morning, I eat about like a dozen Twinkies. Then I head off to, wherever. And no. Okay, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Twinkies or not. I'm not saying that. If you like them, whatever. But what do? I like the celery juice. I still do. I love it. I like the lemon water first thing in the morning. Yeah. I try not to eat any fats before noon. So I don't do an avocado before noon. I want to make sure my liver can purge. I want to make sure my liver can rebuild. I want my liver to restore its bile reserves, so I don't dump a bunch of oil in the morning, coconut butter and peanut butter. I don't do anything like that in the morning. I make sure that my morning is at least free from anything like, say, olive oil if it ever got into me, or some meal or a dressing or whatever it was, or I was at a friend's house. I just don't do any oils, no fats or anything in the morning. So I'm just giving that rundown. I like the HMD. I still drink it all the time. I'm excited. It's in Cafe Gratitude right now. It's mind blowing. I love it. And, but what else do I do, right? I like my greens, leafy greens. That's a big one right there. I like the wild blueberries. That's a big one. I love spinach. I love cilantro and parsley. I love using herbs as leafy greens. This is something you should do, Lauren. Really, really, really. You should be doing like lots of green leafy herbs, like lots of parsley, not just a piece on your fish or something, or piece on like something,
like blend it up.
Well, chop it up really good, throw it on whatever you're eating.
What else besides just parsley? What other
arugula, parsley, cilantro? You should be getting those in you every single day. You want to do something really good because that's medicine. Lettuce is medicine, but not like that. It's a whole nother level of medicine.
Damn, we need to have more herbs and like cilantro and stuff.
You got
in our
it.
House.
It's important. Can't just do a lettuce mix doesn't cut it. You should be doing more of those leafy green herbs.
Yeah, we need to like get the What about microgreens?
I love them.
And then, do you have anything you do at night?
Just wash them good. Wash them good.
Wash them good. Well, do you have anything we do at night? You do at night that you have like a wind down or anything?
It depends on what's happening. If I'm trying to get a book done or some kind of project done or something, or I'm like working on a million things, I'll forget to eat. It's a bunch of hours will go by, it's my bad. But I'll have like a steamed potato or something like that. I can tell people out there, don't be afraid of potatoes. It's been vilified. It's like a villain.
A sweet potato or a baked potato?
Baked potato is fine, right? Try to steam them. That's your best way of eating them. If you want to bake it, bake it. But you just don't put the sour cream and all the oil and everything else and the cheese on them.
What'd you have for dinner last night?
I had a baked potato and a steak.
But what'd you have on it?
You had a steak and potato.
You had a big dollop of sour cream, didn't you?
I was traveling. I was in a hotel.
Did you have any parsley on that potato? I don't think I didn't see a parsley piece in sight. No cilantro.
No. And I had a fat today.
All right. So what you did was you basically had a filler food dinner. I call it filler foods.
Okay.
You didn't really have the medicine. The potato was pretty good, but you didn't have the medicine. There's no medicine in that
last night. There's no medicine last night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to heal your gut.
You got to have some medicine.
But overall,
do the raw spinach. Do the medical medium spinach soup. Go to medicalmedium.com. Get the recipe.
We're going to get that recipe.
Listen, I'll say this. I like talking to guys like you because I'm always looking for room to improve. And this show has been an exploration of me cleaning up my life and getting healthier. And so it's like when I hear, okay, add some more potatoes or add some more herbs, like I could do that easy.
Yeah.
Like that's
amazing.
I'll try your Heavy Metal Detox.
And you for sure will use wild blueberries. No, we're going to do, I'm already buying a juicer. Which juicer should I buy?
Look, get one that, you see out there. Get one that you like. I like the Omega juicers.
Juicers.
There's one that can save people money. It's the MM900. You can check it out.
Here's what I like
saves people
about
money because it really squeezes
your message. This is accessible to anybody. You're not saying a bunch of stuff where I gotta this is not hard things to go and do.
I'm like, hey man, you see what's in this bottle right here? This stuff is sourced from like all over the planet. I'm not doing that.
He literally said to go get his raw spinach soup for your gut on his site for free.
What do you do with a raw spinach soup? I guess it's in your book. Okay, let me ask you this. If someone was, you've got a lot of books. If somebody was going to start with a medical medium book and they're like, okay, I've just been introducing Anthony. Where would you tell them to start? What's one or two?
Number one question that drives me crazy because they're all so great. I mean, Cleanse to Heal is a great one to start with.
We have that, Michael.
Cleanse to Heal. Okay. Brain Saver books. Just you get ready. If you're somebody that's like a health advocate, you think you know a lot, You think you're an expert. You think you're somebody like, maybe you're a health coach. Maybe you're a doctor. Maybe you're just somebody that like knows your way around the health scene and you've watched everybody's YouTubes and everything else. You read Brain Saver and then watch your brain just go, watch it just blow open. You know, like it covers everything from like drinking in restaurants and what's on that glass, you know, on the end of the edge of the glass right there. It's about sticking your fork in boiling hot water when you're in the restaurant because there's all kinds of skin flakes from the inside of the mouth buried in the fork. Doesn't matter how many times it goes through the dishwasher. Doesn't matter. You're just eating people. You're just eating people's skin cells every time you're in a restaurant.
That's such a good idea, Anthony. You get a cup of boiling water and then you just put the cutlery
Well, you know,
in
you just ask for it. Can I get a really hot cup of, like if I was going to have a cup of tea, make sure it comes hot. You put your fork in it for a little bit. You kill off everything. You clean off those skin cells. Like medical meme information, it's okay. I'm not trying to take the credit. It's spirit of compassion. I wouldn't know any of this.
Who is the spirit of compassion? Can I have a talk with him?
Got to get a book.
Okay.
Talk about it in there.
Maybe he'll come through me through Louise Hay tonight in my meditation.
Well, you know, look, spirit of compassion likes you guys. You guys had me on here, okay? So you never know. You never know.
Good. I don't want to piss off the spirit of compassion. I need all the help I can get.
I knew that you had to come on this show because I knew it would blow my mind.
You're fun to talk to,
Yeah,
man.
you're great. You can come on anytime because I truly have 6,000 more questions.
I'll come on
annoy
again, okay?
your team. You can come on
will.
anytime.
Just don't make us send you 5 million
I walk
messages
out and they're
this
like,
time.
oh my God,
You're
we can't have that guy on here
very
again.
talented on a mic. You're very talented on a mic.
Listen, we
I
like
wish,
talking
I
to
wish.
people that are passionate and energetic and enthusiastic about what they're doing.
Not
Not these duds that come in low monotone. Those are the ones I got to kick off the show. But no, we had fun talking to you, man.
Anthony, where can everyone buy your books, find you, stalk you on Instagram, your recipes, everything? And also, I'm going to order your Cafe Gratitude thing now.
If you get onto my Instagram or wherever you go, like Rumble or Telegram, whatever it is, make sure you constantly check your notifications and go back and check out the apps again, you know, like my pages, because, you know, chances are I'm like censored or whatever it is, and your notifications you're not being told I'm live anymore. You're not being told this and this.
Nothing.
No, I'm the most censored person in health right now, hands down anywhere. So I'm just saying that you make sure you always check in with the apps of where I am and everything. Go to medicalmedium.com too, free information everywhere. So many recipes, killer recipes. I mean, it's like you can go to the library and get the Medical Medium books. Like, just do that. Years ago, that's what we did. We drove trucks to libraries and we dropped off. Like, I bought hundreds of thousands of dollars in books. Like, just what I'm saying is you can just get Medical Medium information for free all the time. It doesn't matter if I'm on a bale of hay with newspaper wrapped around me underneath a bridge someday. That doesn't matter. Just get what you need. It's for free. And boom, but I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, no, I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Just a joke. But I'm doing all right. Okay. Yeah.
You're
I
living
promise
in
you.
Florida, man.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
good.
living in Florida, okay?
Did you need a bodyguard because of the government?
Dude,
Honestly, I'm not joking around.
People, you know, look, I'll say something people don't know. I have security.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I have security. I do.
Makes a
I mean,
lot.
I'm just going to say it now, but yeah, I do.
Because the way that you are so honest on and off a mic, I can imagine.
I got security in here right now, by the way.
You're a truth seeker and you're awake. Does that make sense? I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about you're aware and you can feel it. And when pregnant people have a sick, whatever fucking sense it is.
I'm honored.
No, he is. He's awake. Thank you.
Anthony, thank you, man. Appreciate you.